Oh, you're doing a New Year's resolution for 2017. Oh, that's cool. Hey, you did one for 2016, right? How did that turn out? Oh, oh, ouch. Sorry. Hey there, standouts. Brian J. Hatcher here, and welcome to the premiere episode of I-Day Friday. Now, today I want to talk about New Year's resolutions. But of course, what I'm going to talk about could be applicable for any type of goal that you'd like to fulfill. Now, we all start out the year wanting to make life-changing decisions, and we come up with these grand, glorious New Year's resolutions, hashtag New Year, New Me. But then a month, maybe two passes, and then suddenly those grandiose, life-changing plans that we have suddenly fall by the wayside. Now, I think one of the reasons for this comes from the type of resolutions that we decide to make. Now, talk all you want about support and willpower and all those things, but if you don't create a good resolution, then you're going to be floundering right out of the gate. So here are my 3 tips for creating New Year's resolutions that you'll be able to follow all throughout the year. Tip number 1, be specific. You can start out with a resolution of, in 2017, I'm going to live a healthier life, which is a good idea, but what does that mean exactly? How can you get somewhere if you don't exactly know where you're going? Here's a better one. In 2017, I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week, and I'm going to cut out as much processed sugar as I can from my diet. Now, with a resolution like that, you've got a better idea about what you want to do and what you'll need to do to succeed. But give yourself some wiggle room. You're going to slip up every once in a while, and that's fine. I mean, that happens to the best of us. But don't let it derail your entire process. Just get back to doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now, by being specific, I also suggest that you look at the reason why you're taking on this resolution and this goal. Think about what is your personal, emotional reason for taking on this goal. And once you figure that out, it's going to be a lot easier to stay on track. Which leads us to tip number 2. Be sensible. New Year's resolutions have a tendency of making us dream big and come up with grandiose plans. I mean, after all, we've got an entire year to complete them. But then, as the year progresses, we look at this big, grandiose goal that we had, and we say to ourselves, how in the world am I going to be able to do this? Well, like the old saying goes, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So don't be afraid of coming up with a smaller goal. In fact, come up with a few small goals. And don't come up with New Year's resolutions for things that are beyond your control. For example, in 2017, I'm going to be a New York Times bestselling writer. It would be wonderful if it happened, and I'd certainly like that to happen to me. But there's too many things in that that's completely out of your control. And if it doesn't happen, what are you going to do, beat yourself up over that? Making a resolution that you're going to finish your novel this year is something that's completely within your control, and a good New Year's resolution. Which leaves us finally with tip number 3. And to my mind, this is the most important of all the tips, because I believe that this is the one issue that causes us the most problem of anything when it comes to fulfilling our New Year's resolutions. And the reason for that is because conventional wisdom tells us to do the very thing that's going to completely sabotage us when it comes to completing our New Year's resolution. And so the 3rd tip is be silent. In other words, don't tell anyone what your New Year's resolution is. And yes, I know how counterintuitive that sounds. I mean, everyone says, hey, if you're going to try to accomplish something, tell as many people as you can, because they'll give you love and support. And if you're thinking about quitting, you're not going to, because you're going to be embarrassed because everybody knows what you're trying to do. It seems like that would make sense. But researchers like Pete Goldweiser and others have researched this very issue. And what they discovered is surprising. It turns out that telling people your goals not only doesn't help you to succeed, but it turns out that the more people that you tell, the more likely it is that you're going to fail. Now, to understand why this is, we need to kick a little science. some brain science.
Dopamine is an organic chemical that can be found in the human brain. The brain releases dopamine, which then reacts with special receptors that cause feelings of contentment and pleasure. The brain uses this dopamine rush to reinforce positive actions and responses. This is known as reward-motivated behavior. Let's see how this works. Let's say you have a goal. You work to achieve this goal, and then, if you succeed, the brain releases dopamine. The good feelings you get from the dopamine is the reward you get for completing your goal, and it's the desire for this dopamine rush that motivates the completion of goals. Now let's look at another example. Let's say after you decide you wish to pursue a goal, you go on your social media and announce your intentions to everyone. What happens then? Well, you get an attaboy. Good for you, someone says. Hey, you can do it. We're all rooting for you. And it feels good. Not as good as actually completing your goal, of course. But then you probably have more than one friend online, don't you? In fact, the more friends you have, the more attaboys you're likely to receive. And each one feels good, which is why we tend to announce our goals online. We tell ourselves it's for support and to keep us on track, but it's really for the good feelings we get with each attaboy. And why do they feel good? That's right, dopamine. Each attaboy causes the brain to release dopamine. The more attaboys, the more dopamine. And it is these elevated dopamine levels that short-circuit the reward-motivated behavior response. Because your brain's already swimming in dopamine, now you don't need to complete your goal to get your dopamine rush. Therefore, the motivation to stick with your goal is gone, and you will most likely not succeed in your goal.
Now, I'm not saying you can't tell anybody your goal. Find a teacher, a mentor, a trainer, people with specific information who can help you to achieve your goals. And then, after you succeed, feel free to tell as many people as you want. It'll feel good, and it'll certainly be the dessert for your success. But don't try to get your dessert first, or you'll spoil your appetite. Hey everyone, Brian J. Hatcher. I just wanted to thank all of you for watching this video. I hope you found it entertaining and educational. It's the reason why I do these videos. If you liked it, then if you would, click the like button down there. And if you happen to know anyone you think might benefit from this information, certainly share it with as many people as you think would enjoy to watch this video. And if you're kind of curious about the types of videos I want to do on my channel, click down there. You'll see a video that I did explaining the types of videos I want to do on this channel. And if these type of things intrigue you, click the subscribe button so that you can get more videos just like this one. And if you notice the weird looking thing down there in the corner, you can click on that and it'll take you to my Brian with an I website. This is where I post my video blogs as well as some written content on subjects just like you've seen today. So again, I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time, I'm Brian J. Hatcher reminding you to dream with your eyes open.